Welcome to Disney's Polynesian Resort. We are here to dine at one of the most popular breakfast spots here at Walt Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Brian.
And I'm TJ. And by the title, you probably guessed, but we're dining at Ohana's. So this is a character breakfast. So they're gonna have Lilo, Stitch, Mickey, and Pluto.
Before we go up to check in, I just want to encourage you guys to hit that subscribe button. We create theme park content, travel content, and food content. We're actually headed out on a cruise this August, so you don't want to miss that content. We'll be posting to YouTube. Let's go up and check in.
So let's talk about some of the ways to get to the restaurant. So if you're staying at one of the Magic Kingdom resorts, you can get here by monorail, whether that's you're staying at the Contemporary or Grand Floridian. Another way you could get to the restaurant is by bus, whether you're going from the parks or Disney Springs. Another option would be rideshare if you're coming from one of the other resorts or anywhere else for that matter. And then if you have a dining reservation, you can come by car. They have complimentary parking. Now I do believe that is timed because they gave us a little slip of paper, a voucher to put on our dashboard. So I believe it's probably a 3 or so hour limit to park here.
I have notes to get this information right. So actually where we're standing, TJ was just mentioning the monorail. When you come off the monorail is where you're standing, the camera's standing. It's right in front of me. You'll come and see this sign and you'll want to go to the left for Kona Cafe, which is another restaurant here at this level. And then it gives you the sign to go right for Ohana. So just follow the signage when you get off the monorail. It's right on the same level of the monorail. So let's talk about hours. So breakfast is daily from 7:30 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. So really it's kind of like a brunch every day here if you want to make it a brunch. Then the price. Let's talk price. So this is $53 for adults. And of course that doesn't include taxes and gratuity. And then for children 3 to 9, it is $33 plus tax and gratuity. So this is not the most expensive character breakfast. It is not the cheapest character breakfast. And I think that we just got buzzed for our table, that our table's ready. So let's head on over to the restaurant and get sat down. We're all seated now. Now, as the host or hostess brings you to your table, they're going to stop by a counter and they're going to pick you up some of the pineapple coconut breakfast bread. It looks delicious, so I can't wait to try it. We have met our server. So far, my impression is that she's rushing. So that is something that is said about this restaurant, is that they really try to rush you through. It probably depends on the server, but this server definitely does not. She's being polite and kind, but it feels like we're being rushed already, and the skillet hasn't dropped yet. We do have the fruit at the table that's included. It's looking very mediocre to me, the fruit that has dropped at the table. I hate to start off negative, but we're going to give you an honest opinion of our experience here this morning. The host also gives you a character card, so you can still get autographs from the characters, but this just helps you with if you don't want to get autographs, and it's a memento of your time here, so that's nice. Most of the character dining experiences now do this at Walt Disney World. I imagine the skillet's going to be here any minute, and we'll review that. But first, we'll try the bread and see how that tastes.
How are we doing this morning? Wonderful, wonderful.
You know what we missed? We missed getting Lay's so we could match.
Oh,
we'll have
yeah.
to get them on the way out.
Oh, we'll have to go downstairs to get one. There we go. That's what it is.
It's great seeing you.
Can we get a picture?
Mischievous this morning. Have you been helping in the kitchen? Eating it all? Okay. Can we get a picture? Mickey is on his way, so before he comes, I wanted to kind of go over the food, my thoughts about it with you. They also just did a character cavalcade through the restaurant, At the beginning of the video, we said that Pluto was going to be here. I don't believe Pluto will be here. I think the only characters that you're really guaranteed here are Lilo and Stitch. So it's Lilo, Stitch, and Mickey today. And Mickey's our last guy to see today. So I asked for bacon at the beginning of the meal. It is not included on the menu, as you'll see, the regular skillet. And she wasn't positive that she could bring it over, but they wound up bringing it over. I think Kristen from right down Rain Street, she says that they pull it from the Kona kitchen. So they just have to make that request. So ask politely. You might be able to get bacon, might not be able to. Let's talk about what's in the skillet. The Ohana breakfast skillet includes scrambled eggs, pork breakfast sausage links, Hawaiian-style ham, topped with pineapple compote, fried island potatoes, Mickey-shaped waffles, and biscuits. They also have Stitch waffles here. It's probably the only place on property that you're going to find Stitch waffles. Now, they also have a plant-based breakfast skillet, so if you are plant-based, they'll swap out the scrambled eggs and the sausage links for plant-based substitutes of those items. My overall thoughts so far, my standouts are the bread that they give you at the beginning, especially when you get some pieces with the pineapple chunks. It really makes the bread soft, and it's just a nice way to start your meal. And then I really like the ham with the pineapple compote over it. I think it was unique. The ham is super soft, like it's just been soaking up all of those pineapple juices, so I really liked that. Mickey waffles are good here, super solid, even though they're not warm. Those waffles get cold so fast, and by the time they hit the table, even with us filming for so long, when they hit the table, they're pretty much already cold, but they're still delicious. Nice crunch on the outside, but soft on the inside, which is what I want from my Mickey waffles.
How are you doing this morning? Doing good? I think it's so cool that you let Minnie sleep in today. She's working so hard at the other restaurant, so I figured she said she could stay here. Can we get a picture?
All right.
How are you?
Thanks for stopping by.
Now, I know Mickey won't let you have any of the food, but I can sneak you some. It's okay. I'll get you some later.
I was fooled a little bit. Pluto actually was there.
Mm-hmm.
He just wasn't in the cavalcade for whatever reason. He was taking a little siesta, a little nap.
Backstage, yeah.
So there were four characters, as you saw, which I thought the characters were pretty decently spread out.
Yeah, it is a pretty big restaurant, so.
I think the quickness in terms of how fast they're going to push you through really depends on the characters. Because if you haven't seen all the characters yet, the servers, while they might want you to leave and be turned over for the next group, they can't really say anything or do anything until you've seen all of the characters that are there for that day.
Right.
So I also feel like when we sat down our area, we were the first in our area to be sat down. So I think that our server was probably like trying to get us going so that they could then handle the rest of their area. So overall, did you feel we were like rushed?
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't touched on the food or anything, so I'll kind of give my final thoughts on everything. So I'll kind of get the negative out of the way. It wasn't like overtly like negative. It wasn't anything terrible. But like you mentioned, the server, I felt as though she rushed us a little. It wasn't like her demeanor or service was terrible or anything. It's just how she quickly sat us, went through her spiel. And then even as we were leaving, she kind of just tossed the check down and said, all right, here you go.
She very much tossed the check at us.
Yeah, and then just was like, kept it moving on to the next one. And I just said, oh, okay. But aside from that, everything else was amazing. I do think this is great for families, like parties of four, because it is a lot of food. We didn't even finish like fully finish all of our skillets. As far as food, the eggs were, they felt like they were out of a bag. They were a little runny. But my standout were the potatoes. They were seasoned well, nice and crispy. They were very crispy. So those were a standout to me. And then the stitch waffles, because you can't get that anywhere else.
Yeah.
So overall, I think this is a very good spot. It is a highly coveted spot because reservations were so hard to get. Another tip is using thrill data. You
Yeah,
want to talk about that?
We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
So reservations here are 60 days out, so you can make those reservations. They go very quick for Ohanas, for breakfast and for dinner. And if you want to come here kind of last minute, or maybe you're looking a few weeks out and you don't see anything, go ahead and head over to thrill-data.com. It's not sponsored. I haven't even ever talked to the people of that company, but I've used the data part, because the data part is very helpful when you're learning like ride wait times and stuff. They have so much data on the website, but they also have introduced the ability to set alerts for when dining reservations become available here at Walt Disney World, also over I think at Disneyland too. So go check them out. It's free to use. That's what I like, because some of those services are paid for. But thrill-data.com is free to use. And that's how I got, what reservation did I get off of that? That's how I got our GO82 reservation.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, I got that for like opening week.
Yeah.
And when I set the alert, within 24 hours, I had an opening week reservation at GO82. So it does work. You kind of have to stay on top of it, but it does work. I will say that this restaurant, like with most character dining restaurants, it's really worth it if you want to see the characters. If you don't want to see the characters, I would go dine for breakfast elsewhere on property. I think that there's a very limited amount of options. I think there's more food options over at Whispering Canyon, which I have a video on that. We have a video on that. I dined there recently with Kristen right down Main Street. I think their skillets are a little bit more robust than this one. I don't know. I just felt there was more. There's just more. Like over there, TJ could have gotten one skillet. I could have gotten another skillet. And we could have ordered as much as we wanted off those two different skillets. Whereas here's one skillet. The options just feel limited.
Yeah, so if you want to see a full video on that and those skillets, go check out that video. We'll put the link in the description below.
That's it for us here today at the Polynesian. Let us know, what is your favorite character breakfast here on Walt Disney World property or over at Disneyland?
Yeah.
If you're more familiar with Disneyland, let us know in the comments. If you have questions, put them in the comments too.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Definitely. And thank you to our Patreon members.
Yes, thank you so much.
We will see you guys right here next time.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.